Well, I'm fishing somewhere different on this session. I'm actually at Mousehole Lakes on Lake Kingfisher on a 48-hour Carp Basics social. It's going to be a laugh, it's going to be a bit of fun. I've also got an open day as well, which is going to be hectic. I'm going to be joining in with that, so I'll probably end up reeling in it at some stage. Not going to be that easy, but there is some big carp in it, up to 40 pounds. So, you know, you never know what's going to happen. It's going to be tricky though. It snowed 3 days ago and we're meant to have really cold conditions over the weekend. So there's always a chance of catching something. So let's go. I have fished it once before, a couple of months ago, in -3 temperatures and caught nothing. But it's a lot warmer than that. Maybe a little bit. It's still winter obviously, so I'm still gonna be struggling. But we've got a full house as well. Like, we've got 16 swims on this lake and they've all been taken. So yeah, it's one big social. All the Carp Basics lot are here, so it's going to be interesting anyway. I finally got my rods out as well. It's been a little bit of a tricky start to the to the social. The wind got up, the rain was coming down, and it was absolutely ridiculous. But the weather has improved a little bit. It's given me the opportunity to get the rods out. I've managed to have a little look at my swim a couple of times since I've been here, so it gave me a bit of an option to figure out where I am and what I've got in front of me. I'm in peg 9 now. Don't really know anything about this side of the lake myself. I've been here and done a few filming sessions for Carp Basics, but overall I don't know huge amounts. There is big carp in this lake, big beasts, absolute chunky monkeys in here. But it's going to be tricky. It's never that easy anyway, and then on top of that it's really cold. It's going to be a cold one tonight as well, so it's going to make it a bit more trickier as well, so we'll see how it happens. Tomorrow we've got the open day, so the first open day of Carp Basics, and so we're going to be focused more on that tomorrow, but I'm going to be doing my video while I'm here, and I'm just going to keep going and try and catch something. Yeah, so like I said, I put the rods out. I've got one on the island, about 2 foot back from it. I didn't want to get too close. There is a bit of a shelf that shallows up towards the island, but it's just not that warm. I'd rather be in slightly deeper water, so that's where I've gone on that one. That is on a solid bag, and I've got some 2mm all nut pellets in it, 2mm red lobster pellets, some stick mix in there as well, got all nut stick mix, and I've got a yellow all nut pop up inside. I've actually done something different inside the solid bag. Normally I fish with a standard hair rig and just, you know, pop it up slightly. Gone for something a bit different on this session. It's a bit like a German rig really, where I've got a hook bead and a mini swivel, you know, running up and down on the hook. Micro ring swivel, that is, swivel. And I just got a little shot underneath, popping it up. Just slightly. I don't want to pop up too much, don't want to go crazy on that one. But yeah, overall I am happy with the spot on that island as well. It looks quite good. The wind's pumping down here, so I think there's a good chance of getting one on that. Also, normally you'd fish 3 rods on here, but we've gone for 2 rods each just to try and minimise as many rods as going in the lake. So the other one, I've actually put down the margin. I've gone about 6-7 foot out from the margin. I don't want to go too close because there's a little bit of a shelf there and it drops away. Found a nice little firm spot, just actually literally the right of my bivvy. There isn't that much space in these swims, so I've literally just gone slightly outside the swim, and yeah, it looks like a nice spot. I've got a Ronnie rig on that on a lead clip, and I've put on that one a dumbbell wafter all nut, and I've tipped it over a little microplastic cord. It's one of my favourite little things to do. Half all nut boilies over the top, and a few handfuls of all nut pellets, 6mm over the top. Obviously I can top it up, I can put more bait in if I need to, but overall a couple of handfuls of bait, pretty much a handful of chops and a handful of little pellets should be enough. Everyone has been catching on little piles of bait, a little pop-up or a wafter, something like that, just a little pile. At the moment they're not very hungry, so just a little trap, I think that'll work. Like I said, the weather is going to be cold tonight. This is a 48-hour session, so at least I've got 24 hours after that to warm up. It's meant to be sunny tomorrow, and then it's meant to be warmer on the last day. So overall, I think it'd be better on the end of the session more than the beginning. But if I don't get a bite within sort of up to sort of dark, really, I think it'd be the last 24 hours where it could be a chance of getting a bite. Like I said, there's a lot of rods in the water, a lot going on. But it's a social, so I've got to be sociable. I've got to walk around and chat with people, but obviously I've got to be doing some fishing as well. But like I said, the open day's tomorrow, and I'm going to be really in about 10 o'clock, going off and sorting that out, helping and doing what I can really to promote the bait. And then I'll probably recast my rods. If it's sunny, I might even try zig, but you never know what happens. Like I said, it's really tricky, this lake, but hopefully I'll get one. Let's see anyway. Well, it's been a couple of hours and yeah, nothing's happened for me and nothing's happened for everyone else around the lake. Pretty quiet, maybe a few indications, that's about it. It looked really good today. When I turned up it was raining, but it was really windy. It looked good, but it's all gone calm now. The rain has sort of stopped, but it's got a lot more colder, so I put my coat on. But yeah, so far nothing's happened. I didn't expect anything to happen straight away, but yeah. But like I said, there's some big carp in here, and you know, if I get a take, it could be something decent. You never know. There's a few smaller ones in here, but majority of the time it's going to be something reasonably decent anyway. But you know, there's a lot of rods out, a lot of people fishing around the lake. You know, it's going to be difficult, but you know. Winter's always difficult anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. So I'm just having a nice cup of tea, warm myself up. Oh yeah, need it now. Definitely dropping the temperature. Like I said, it's going to be a cold one, so it's going to be quite cold this evening. But I'm still happy. I still think something's going to happen. I still believe in everything, and hopefully it works, and hopefully something happens soon. If not, I'll try really hard tomorrow after the open day, and I'll just keep going until with the last minute, you know, until I have to bring the rods in. I'll keep going, and hopefully I'll get something, but we'll see. Well, it was a really cold night last night. Nothing happened for me at all, and I don't think anything happened at all around the whole lake. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been on the other side yet to see if anyone else caught, but I don't think so. I think it went down to like -1, maybe lower. I don't really particularly know. I actually got up in the middle of the night and saw there was frost over everything, so yeah, it was pretty cold. Yeah, so a bit disappointed. I haven't had anything, but like I said, I reckon probably the last 24 hours will probably give me the higher chance once all the rods have, you know, gone in and all the disturbance and the casting and things. Obviously today there's going to be some reeling in and maybe some recasting later. Most people were using bait boats anyway, so it wasn't that much disturbance yesterday, but all the pressure on the lines going in probably made it worse. But I reckon it'll probably kick off in the last 24 hours. hopefully at least one carp will be caught. I'm going to give it about an hour, and then if nothing happens, I'm going to reel in, I'm going to go and be sociable and get ready for the open day, and yeah, just be around that other side instead of being here freezing cold and nothing's really happening. It's meant to be sunny today, so maybe in the afternoon when I come back, recast, then maybe I might even try zigs for a little bit. It's meant to be really sunny and up to about 6-7 degrees, so there's always a chance of maybe getting one on zig, but then I'll probably change back onto the bottom. I'll give it a couple of hours obviously with the zigs, and then maybe I'll try on the bottom for a little while and see what works. Yeah, so I reckon my best chance is probably when the sun comes out. Maybe the zigs might work, but you know, the last 24 hours probably gives me a higher chance of getting something. The only problem is it's going to be raining all night, so it is going to be warmer, but it's going to rain, so you never know if it's going to work or not. But I'm going to keep trying, keep going, and you know, never know, something might happen. Well, I've only just come back. Yeah, what an amazing day, the open day. Yeah, a lot of people came down. Yeah, it got busy, especially in the morning. It got really busy. It did get a bit quiet during the afternoon, but it gave us time to have a big chat and have a bit of a laugh, really. I did stay around there a bit longer than I should have, really. It's literally about an hour or two before it gets dark, so yeah, I pretty much spent the whole day around the other side and the marquees and yeah, mucking about and talking to people and stuff like that. But a good day for Carp Basics, and a bit of a laugh and everything, and yeah, it was a fun day. I enjoyed it. But yeah, finally I have come back, and finally I've recast the rods. They're back on the spots. Refreshed the hook baits, obviously, clearly. It's all been refreshed, all recast, all on the spots. So let's see what happens. I've got about an hour or two before it gets dark, so I'm still hopeful that I'm going to get one. Probably more likely to be in the next hour, if not tomorrow morning, last chance. But it's meant to get warmer. It's 5 degrees now, and it's meant to get to about 10 degrees by tomorrow morning. So completely different from the first night, where it absolutely dropped, the temperature was freezing. Apparently, according to everyone else, it went down to -4. Some people say it's -3 last night. I don't know. I thought it was only -1, but it was clearly colder than that. But yeah, after a cold night, it's nice to know that it's going to be warm tonight, and hopefully something happens. Nothing really has happened the whole entire day. One was lost on a zig. That is about it on the whole lake, so it's pretty quiet. Apart from the other Lake Kestrel next door, 2 carp were caught, a 26 and a 34 was caught. So that lake is doing alright at the moment. This lake's a bit slow, but it's a lot more harder to fish this one. But there is some big carp in here, so I'm hopeful. Let's see what happens, and hopefully I'll get something. You never know. Well, another quiet one for me last night. Nothing happened, not one indication. Pretty silent. There was some carp caught though, so it wasn't that bad. A very slow start after that cold night, but 3 carp caught, better than nothing overall. Weren't me, obviously. I tried. I did make a little change yesterday when I came back from the open day and recast on my margin one. I put a little PVA mesh bag of chops, the all nut in half, and I just thought I'd try that and just to make sure there's bait just around the hook bait, but that hasn't happened, hasn't worked. Yeah, so it's been pretty quiet. About 8 o'clock, we all walked down to the corner swim and had a group photo of all the Carp Basics lot. So I had to reel in. I've recast and it's been about an hour and still nothing's happened. So yeah, I did see something show though, which is giving me some kind of hope. It was on the island, but you know, what else am I meant to do? It's looking very close to being a blank session for me, but we'll see what happens. I've got a couple more hours, you never know, might just turn around, possibly, I don't know. Oh, we'll see, something might happen, I don't know. We will definitely see. Afraid I didn't catch anything, but it's been an enjoyable weekend hanging out with all the Carp Basics lot, helping with the open day. That was fun. More people turned up than we expected, so that was brilliant. The fishing side, obviously I did try, but nothing happened for me. A couple of carp were caught, but you know, it was a tricky one. It started off really cold and then it got quite warm last night and it looked good and carp did come out, but I couldn't catch anything. But I tried, I really did. So all I gotta say is thank you for watching and I see you in the next video.